Keep the show moving right along. Put your hands on, we'll get you your beer. Put your hands together for Ethan Sandoval, everyone. Say hello.
Lauren, you swore you wouldn't tell people I farted next to you on that goddamn train. I had ranch. It goes right through me. What do you want? That fucks me up. Hi. I think this is a good segue. I have autism. That's not, the farts aren't connected. It's the willingness to talk about them is. Farts aren't a side effect. No, but I do have autism, and I'm getting real fucking tired of people coming up to me and saying, yeah, you don't really seem that autistic. I don't think you have autism. And the next person that does that, I'm gonna tie him to a chair, and I'm gonna tell them every Royal Rumble winner in chronological order. 1988, it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. 1989, it was Big John Studd. Runner-up, Ted DiBiase. Right? That was before it was for the title. Okay. Cool. A lot of nerds in here. I also like to talk about this because I like to normalize it. I got a vasectomy a couple years ago because yeah, woo. I'm from Oklahoma, so I'm not used to that response. It's usually like, what have you done to God's penis? He made that for you. But no, I did. I got a vasectomy a couple years ago because I'm a hero. And I found out after getting a vasectomy that there are a lot of misconceptions about vasectomies. One of them is, I was talking to a buddy of mine, he was asking me questions because he was considering getting one. And I was like, man, if you're thinking about getting one, I totally recommend it. It was very affordable. It took like 20 minutes. It was pretty painless. I was back up and running in like 2 or 3 days, and so well, up and walking slowly, but and but I recommend it. Like, if you're thinking about doing it, go for it. And he was like, yeah, but I don't want things to change down there. And I was like, well, what do you think's gonna change? And he was like, well, after you get a vasectomy, you don't anymore. And I was like, what? He was like, well, after you get a vasectomy, you don't anymore. I was like, do you think after you get a vasectomy, you don't come anymore? That's not how it works. It's not like I got a vasectomy and all of a sudden my penis is throwing up on an empty stomach. Just like, hey, baby, I'm gonna quit. Do we have some saltines and Sprite? I need some saltines and Sprite. Just a penis with an ice pack on his forehead. Thermometer on the tip. It's sounding. Explore your bodies. But no, another buddy of mine was saying, he was like, oh, you got a vasectomy. Bet you're saving a lot of money on condoms. And I was like, that wasn't a big expenditure. I wasn't doing my budget every week, like condoms through the roof. There was a lot of Culvers again? Okay. But yeah, I also have OCD because God loves me, and I got OCD, and the thing about OCD that I think annoys me the most is all the time people will be like, oh my God, I also have OCD, I have so many impulsive thoughts. And it's like, no. It's not impulsive thoughts, it's intrusive thoughts. We all have impulsive thoughts. Impulsive thoughts are you like see a kid, you want to kick them. All right, like we all want to do that. All right, it's just how they got kickable faces. I don't know what to tell you. All right. But intrusive thoughts are very different. Intrusive thoughts are like you see a kid and you're like at the park and then you realize that the kid kind of looks like you when you were younger and now you're like, oh fuck, when I hit that bump in the road I traveled back in time and that is actually young me and now I have to be careful because I'm in the past and if I break anything it could fuck up the future. And so now you're walking around the park like this the whole time so you don't step on any bugs. Because if you step on a beetle, you might get severance canceled. Like that's what having OCD is like, all right? And then also another thing is like I just want to figure out the best way to like explain OCD to people. And I think the best way I've come up with is if you look at like OCD as like an algorithm. right? Like you've got TikTok, and like TikTok is like very much like your brain. Like you show it the things you want to think about or you want to see, and it continues to show you those things. It continues to show you those things. But then intrusive thoughts are like that one video that comes in, and you're like, who the fuck is this for? Like, this isn't for me. You're watching videos of like veterans coming home. You're watching videos of cats play, and then it's like all of a sudden top 10 most fuckable dogs in cinema, and you're like, whoa. Also, I kind of gotta watch that because I gotta make sure we got the same list. Clifford's my pick. I like them big. I like the big red rocket. Okay, that's so far. That's so far. I shouldn't. Oh boy. Oh god. I am single. Your dogs are safe, I swear. I swear. I am single, and I will say, like, I went through a breakup recently, and I was talking to a buddy about it, and he was just asking me, and he was like, Ethan, why is every person you date the most emotionally unavailable, mean piece of shit? And I was like, dude, hold on, stop. We all know I want to fuck my dad. Okay, we all know. We covered this years ago. We all know every time somebody says they love me and doesn't show it, I'm like, Papa? Like, that's Uppy's daddy? I could never show him that joke. I spent a lot of time on the internet, surprise, and I was on. I saw a meme the other day, and it was talking about like a raccoon can fit into any hole that is smaller than or the larger than 4 inches in diameter, and the human rectum can stretch to 8 inches in diameter, which means you could fit 2 raccoons in your butthole, which haha animal cruelty, but also I like this part. But also, like, what an amazing self-defense technique, right? Somebody's like, give me your money, and you're like, get 'em, boys! Rocket attack! But also, like, the thing that made me think of it is, like, human evolution is a thing, right? We don't do anything for no purpose. So, like, why was it necessary for our survival as people for our buttholes to be able to stretch to fit a small pizza? Like, why? Was it just like, oh, I've got nowhere to put my keys? Like, I've got 3 watermelons and only 2 arms. Okay. Yeah, I've done this a long time. I don't need your help. Thank you, though. I think a big reason that I'm single is I'm not good at talking to women. I was at a restaurant, and I won't say the name, but it rhymes with Brick-fil-A, and there was a Wendy's, and I was in there, and there was this girl behind the counter, and she was very pretty, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll strike up a conversation, because that's what fast food workers want, for you to hit on them. And so, I was like, oh, hey, I like your necklace, right? And she didn't really give a shit. She just was like, okay, thank you, what else would you like? And I was like, fuck. But in my head, I was like, fuck, I made things awkward, and like now I have to like try to make things not awkward. And I was like, you know what I'll do is I'll crack a joke, right? Because I don't know when to shut the fuck up. And so I was like, let me crack a joke. And I was like trying to figure out what to say, and she started to fill my soda up, right? And it filled up with a lot of fizz. And I was like, I know what I'll say. I'll be like, hey, you should put your finger in my drink, right? Because the problem is I had no confidence when I said it. So it just came out as, hey, you should put your finger in my drink. And it was not her pleasure. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, I'm going to do one more. You know what? I'm going to do a really dark joke. Okay, and then I'm going to get out of here. Because you guys are fun. I like this a lot. So I'm from the South, which means I don't get sad when animals die. And I mean, I care a little, you know, but I'm not like, you know. I'm just like, bummer, let's go get some fried chicken, right? You know, like. So I don't really, like, look, I grew up on like 40 acres in the middle of nowhere, all right? I grew up in the woods, like in a house, but like in the woods, you know? And so like I'm used to like seeing like prey, like take down, like being taken down by predators, right? I'm used to like seeing like animals murdered all the time. Like one time, it's just natural. And like one time I saw a coyote get hit by a semi. Like that's just the food chain, you know? It's natural, right? And so, it's been going on for millennia. And so but like, here, let me put it to you this way. There's a thing you have to do on cattle farms in the South, and it's fucked up. But sometimes the morally correct thing to do is fucked up. And so there's this thing, it's called calf grafting. And if you don't know what that is, buckle up. So calf grafting is this thing where like sometimes, birth is hard even for humans. Now imagine if the thing you were birthing had shoes, right? That's what it's like to give birth to a cow, It's like the placenta's stuck on his Doc Martens. But calf grafting is like, so sometimes the calves die during birth, or the mother dies during birth. And occasionally you have a situation where you have a calf that's lost its mother, and at the same time you have a mother that's lost its calf. So obviously what you would do is you would introduce the two, and then the mother will take care of the orphan calf. The problem is, the mother can tell that that's not her calf because it doesn't smell like her calf. And so if you try to introduce it, she'll be like, get him the fuck out of here. That's not Herbert, And so you have to do this thing called calf grafting. And what that is you have to make it smell like the baby that died. So the way you do that is you skin the dead baby. And you make the alive baby wear it like a coat. And then all of a sudden the mother's like, oh shit, that is Herbert! Where'd you get that sick leather jacket from? But can you imagine if we had to do that for human babies? Just like the mom won't take it, and it's like, I've got an idea. I was watching this movie, it's called Silence of the Lambs. You wheel the baby in on a gurney, and it's just like, hello, Chloe. I ate his liver with a nice baba of milky and some jelly beans. All right, thank you guys so much. You've been amazing.
All right, you know the rule. If you need to do it, let me know. Other than that, we're going to keep the fun moving right along.